Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Sunday night. It is, what time is it? It's about 7:30. And I'm gonna do the best I can with this video. But I don't know how well it's gonna go because I am ridiculously tired. I went out with my family on Friday night. We stayed out till like 1 o'clock bowling. And I had a beer that night, and it was the first beer I've had since December, and just slept in till like 10 o'clock. Never sleep in that late. Went out to the swap meet, was out there for a couple hours in the sun, found a whole bunch of stuff, brought my stuff home, got it all organized, got everything separated, organized the hat room in here, organized a bunch of paperwork, got the house cleaned up, shipped out 30 or 40 items, I can't remember, I lost track. It was a long day. And about 10 o'clock I decided, all right, I'm gonna call it, I'm gonna get in bed, I'm gonna get up tomorrow about 5:30 and go to the swap meet. Get there dark so I can, find all the stuff, take my flashlight, look at the boxes, find stuff that other people, haven't got to yet. And I don't know if I was excited to go to the swap meet or something, but I could not go to sleep. I got on my computer, I started researching, started reading, I was on eBay, Facebook, Twitter, DTube, Steam It, all the above. And the next thing I knew, it was 4:30 in the morning. So I didn't even go to sleep. Just got up, put my clothes on, went to swap meet, spent about 3 or 4 hours out there, got a whole bunch more stuff, did really well today, and thought for sure when I get home I'm gonna crash out. I got home, I was wide awake. I got on my computer, I've been researching all day. Researching, networking. That's it. Read a little bit, couldn't go to sleep, I'm having like the opposite thing now. Now this has just been the last day. Last night I couldn't sleep. I've been sleeping fine lately. So that's interesting. Okay, got that part out of the way. The first thing I wanted to talk about was, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I got sidetracked by this video when I was getting ready to do this other stuff. Daniel Holtzclaw was an Oklahoma City police officer. At the time that I lived in Norman, Oklahoma, which is only 40 minutes south of Oklahoma City. And I remember watching this whole thing go down with him. He was accused of raping like 36 people. I mean, they railroaded this guy. They accused him of raping 36 people, I believe. They charged him with 18 counts, and they put him in prison for 263 years. So, in my opinion, I don't know if Daniel Holtzclaw is a targeted individual in the same way that we are, but he was at least targeted by the Oklahoma City Police Department. It might have been somebody higher up that was saying to do it or what, but from my experience in Oklahoma, would guess it's local. Just guess, just educated guess from my experience living it. My interaction with some of the local law enforcement. They've got scams built in all day long. We were part of one of those. My son was arrested and they didn't even call me. They threw him in some cell for like 6 hours before they even notified us that anything was going on. And I went down to talk to him, and they had a guy stand behind me with a pencil in his hand, stand directly behind me, and they kept saying, "Sit down." These were like civilian employees. I said, "No, thank you very much. I'll stand up and I'll talk to you." Called the police and got that whole thing on video, and that video disappeared from YouTube. But I am kind of going off track from my subject. Daniel Holtzclaw is currently in jail. He's currently in prison, serving a 263-year sentence, which obviously is impossible. But his case was not handled correctly. They missed a bunch of evidence. They left out a bunch of parts that were important to the case, and he went to prison. So now he's got, probably they were talking about $1 million of court fees, lawyer fees, different things that they will need if this case gets retried for him to actually make it through with any kind of hope. Uh, they're gonna do another. They did a live stream. His sister did a live stream with him on the phone, and you got to hear his voice. He sounded good. He sounded better than I thought he would, which is awesome. And I picture him rotting away in this cell. It's like 6x10 cell with a toilet and a sink, you know, and they let him out an hour a day or something like that. I don't know, but I just pictured him sounding a lot worse than he did. So it's good to hear that he's doing okay. He sounds hopeful. They're making progress. They're starting a podcast next week. They'll be in New York City with Michelle Malkin and Brian Bates. I'm probably messing some of this up, but Brian Bates was a private investigator that helped Daniel Holtzclaw through some of his situation, and he is helping try to free Daniel Holtzclaw right now. So he's doing this podcast, I believe, and Michelle Malkin will be part of it. Anyway, next week, Daniel Holtzclaw, there'll be another live stream and a podcast. So that's good news. Follow that. If you're a targeted individual and you listen to that story and you do not identify with Daniel Holtzclaw and some of the things that he's been through, you might not be targeted. Because, man, as soon as before I knew I was targeted, I felt a connection to this guy. When I was in Oklahoma, when I was watching him on TV, something didn't seem right. You know, I remember watching on TV going, 38 people, 36 people? And the guy just looked dumbfounded the whole time he was in there, you know, and I've had that feeling of just being dumbfounded, like all of this being dropped on you all at once. Everything they can think of, just drop everything on you. And you feel hopeless. And I know that he had felt hopeless for a while at least. You know, it sounds like he's got some hope now because they're making some progress. So, all right, segue. I think I talked about everything that I can't remember his sister's name, but Holtzclaw is Holtzclaw. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I had, I don't want to call it an epiphany. I had this thought enter my head, and I can't even think what prompted it, about the vehicles that follow you while you're being auto-mobbed, when you're being gang-stalked. So the vehicles that I hear, that I've personally seen everywhere around me, at a high rate, at a repetitious rate, very consistent for like a year that I noticed. And then all of a sudden, it's like a normal amount of cars around me. I don't see the whole Dodge fleet. So, but the cars that I've encountered and the cars that everybody else talks about are Dodge Challengers, Dodge Chargers, Dodge Durangos, Dodge trucks, Jeep, like Jeep Liberty, Jeep Wranglers, and Chrysler vehicles. Okay, the actual Chrysler brand vehicle, the SUVs and the cars, and Hyundais. There's always, I'm sorry, not Hyundais, Kias. Especially this little green one. That little green one is always by me. And that color stands out, so you'd notice it, but for like 3 months, no matter where I go, if that car wasn't already parked like at the place that I was going, it'd be parked next to me when I left. Just that green car. So Challenger, Charger, Durango, Ram, Jeep Liberty, Jeep Wrangler, Chrysler SUV, Chrysler cars, those are all made by the Fiat Chrysler company. Anybody ever remember little army men, and they had the little green Jeep that went with them? Or, you know, you got a bigger Jeep with green, just movies, you've seen movies. And that green Army Jeep is pretty iconic. Almost anybody can recognize it. Well, that was Chrysler Company that had a contract with the federal government since World War I, maybe even before, but they were driving those Jeeps around. Actually, maybe World War I was Willys. Anyway, my point is, the federal government has had Chrysler has had a contract with the federal government for, let's just say 100 years. Don't think that contract has been broken. It's been updated and renewed. Chrysler was going out of business. They were having a really tough time. Their plant was in Mexico. Production was going down. Sales were going down. Well, sales were going down, so production was going down. And they were looking for some kind of way out. Well, all of a sudden, they got this huge boost. And all of a sudden, they are a huge car company again. They're moving back to Detroit. And they're going full blast in the United States. They're making nice cars. You know, they're making really nice cars. And I think that they still have that contract with the federal government, but that contract money is most likely coming from one of these deep state black ops, unacknowledged special access programs. And they just said, I mean, how many gang stalkers are in the town? A lot. And I think if you're a handler, you get like the Challenger or something. It's like your level. You get a different, you get a better car as you go up. Seems like guys in the Challengers are the handlers. But that was probably a huge sale, because everybody that's taking pictures of these gang stalkers, they're explaining what's going on with the gang stalkers, they're identifying vehicles and stuff like that, over and over and over and over and over and over again. They're Chrysler vehicles. You know, there's other vehicles mixed in there and stuff like that, but the number one vehicle, Chrysler and Kia, in my experience, and from what I see online. I'm probably repeated that 3 times. I'm so tired I can't remember what I've been saying. So, yeah, and the CEO from Chrysler is from Italy, I believe. He lives in another country. You can double check this, cross-reference all this stuff I'm saying to make sure that I'm right, but I'm pretty sure that he does not live in the United States. He lives somewhere else, but he's the CEO for this international company, Chrysler, Fiat Chrysler. So he might not care too much if part of his contract involved his vehicles being used to gang stalk targeted individuals, gang stalk victims. And then again, the purchase might have been made by another department. He's way up here, purchasing department for the government contracts or something like that. It's way down here on the pyramid, and he might not even be aware that that giant sale went to government-funded non-consensual stalking, non-consensual experimentation, stalking, and harassment. It's a top secret thing. He's a CEO with a lot of money. I would imagine he's got some top secret information. You know, corporate America and our government have merged, and maybe even past the point of where government's actually in control, and our corporations are in control now and telling the government what to do, which is why citizens are being harassed and taken advantage of so much, because the corporation is thinking of the bottom line only, and forgetting people's constitutional rights. Not forgetting, bypassing. They've got enough lawyers to explain the Constitution to them, you know. But keep your mouth shut, keep it hidden long enough, and make enough money while nobody's looking. The few people that sue you at the end or whatever, you'll have to pay them off, and then you get all those billions and billions and billions of dollars, and you know, I'm sure. Sounds like what to do. All right, covered Holtzclaw. Talked about the Fiat Chrysler company. Oh yeah, and what was I going to say? There seems to be a connection, the countries that I see this coming from the most, and this is from intaking information from covert messages and harassment for the last year, being aware that I'm being harassed and keeping track of where everything is coming from. And the number one countries, of course, here in the United States, Japan, Australia, and South Korea, Germany as well. Key is made in South Korea. I can't remember why I made that connection. Anyway, I'm just going to jump to the next spot. On my YouTube videos, there is a person that started commenting on my videos. The first one was December 1st, 2017. Just a month before I was arrested. But this person, okay, there's three things this person is. They are either, and I hate saying this about it, no, I don't want to say crazy, because they wouldn't be crazy if they come up with this. They'd just be, if it wasn't real, they'd be, what's the word? Conniving, clever. Or this person just has more information on the far back, the way back history of pretty much everything around the world. All of these people that are connected, all these people are linked together. I mean, I haven't even finished reading all of this person's comments. There's 3 paragraphs here on this one video, and it's like they comment on each video. I do my best to finish reading all of them, but sometimes I don't. So what I thought I would do, oh wait, I'm sorry, I need to back up. Or this is a computer program, part of the AI, just coming up with some random story about this stuff, you know, researched history, and oh, okay, that's totally good at what it could be. Researched history, went through every single encyclopedia and the internet, every history book and everything, compiled all this information and put a story together. Who knows? I'm almost positive there's some program out there that could do that. Some algorithm, some artificial intelligence. All right, so this person's either full of shit, has more information on this topic and world history than anybody I've ever met. I haven't met this person, but been in contact with, or it's a computer program. So this person's name is, the username is Return of Zeus. And, well here, I'll just read it. Alright, and this was on my video, if you do want to check it out, target an individual gang stalking after some positive stuff. After some positive, oh, this is, I was just driving talking about Arizona, talking about the area. This is the first time this person commented on my videos. So without further ado, alright, this is Return of Zeus comment. So this might be like a series, I might just keep doing these because, well, and as I'm reading through this, listen to the information that's in here and comment if any of this sounds familiar, or if you look some of it up and you find some of the information and you find it to be wrong, or you find there's some validity to it. All right. This is who is financing much of the gang stalking. The Venetian nobility are top international bankers that grew their wealth through shipping, trade, banking, and war. Many of the Byzantine noble families migrated to Venice as Rome was being rebuilt through the papacy. Papacy? Not sure what that word is. Through the papacy. The Giustiniani family are the top Venetian bloodline, producing at least one Doge of Venice, as well as Venetian politicians and several dogs of Genoa. The Giustiniani family are a continuation of the Justinian dynasty that ruled the Byzantine Empire. Giusto means good. Oh, gusto. Gusto means good, just, or even well. Many of these Venetian families migrated into Germany and London. Oh, the Giustiniani family are recently married with the Del Bono family of Venice. Bono or buono means good or well. These families are not good, and they hide behind the false sense of self-righteousness. Families like Wellesley, Giustiniani, and Bono are from the same ancient clan. The Mars family, which are worth around 70 billion and own the Mars Candy. Oh, which are worth about 70 billion and own the Mars Candy Company, where the Candia family, sorry, I'm going to back that up. 70 billion and own the Mars Candy Company were the Candia family of Venice. Okay. Candido is the Italian word for candy. They were also kings of Crete and were involved with the sugar trade. They provided sugars to families in northern Italy, which is why there are major candy companies like Ferrero and Perfetti Van Mele. The Savoy family hold the title of Prince of Venice, and they worked closely with the Candia family. Man, I'm butchering this. The German term Fug and Reich means good and right, and the Fugger family were one of the wealthiest banking families in the Holy Roman Empire. The Fugger family run about 9 criminal charity foundations used for making payoffs to agents that serve their agenda. Count Alexander Fugger Babenhausen is a top member of this family. The DuPont family were a Venetian merchant family that produced Doge Niccolo de Ponte, the wealthy DuPont family of France. Oh, DuPont Chemical. France and creators of DuPont Chemical Company. Got ahead of myself. Are related with the DuPont family of Venice. Henry Wells founded Wells Fargo and was a descendant of the Bono Gusto clans of Venice. Wells Fargo has about 1.9 trillion in assets. Arthur Wellesley, the Earl of Mornington, oversees Wells Fargo. Arthur Wellesley, the Earl of Mornington, oversees Wells Fargo. The British Wellesley family holds the Spanish title of Duke of Ciudad Rodrigo. Wachovia was involved, Wachovia, that sounds familiar. Wachovia was involved in a large money laundering operation for Mexican drug cartels and soon after was bought by Wells Fargo. Okay. Alessandro Giustiniani is a senior economist that has worked with the International Monetary Fund in Washington, D.C. and also worked for the Bank of Italy in Rome. The Conti family had a Venetian branch, and in the past century, the Giustiniani family married with Conti family. The Giustiniani family owned the Palazzo Massimo Giustiniani of Rome and married with the Massa noble family, which are an ancient branch of the Massimo family, and a part of the Saibo and Malaspina families. Count Stefano Massa of Sorrento and Count Sergio Massa of Sorrento are the heads of the Massa family and winemakers. Countess Beatrice del Bono Venise, I'm sorry about these names if I'm getting these wrong, I'm sure I am, Venise of Giustiniani Venice, and Count Vittorio del Bono Venise of Giustiniani Venice are top members of the Giustiniani families as the relatives of Maria Giustiniani Massa del Bono, Count Matteo Giustiniani of Sadri, and his brother Count Jacopo Giustiniani of Sadri are Florentine members of this family that own a vineyard and restaurants in New York City. There's a vineyard in New York City? Is it on top of a building or in... own a vineyard and restaurants in New York City. All right. The Massa Gustiani family also married with the Conti Bonacassi family of Florence, with Count Leone Contini Bonacassi as a top member today, and son of the deceased Lisa Gustiani. Anicio Zorzi Gustiani is a Florentine opera singer. The Zorzi family were an influential Venetian nobility, with Marino Zorzi as a doge of the old Venetian Republic. There are several other De Massa Gustiani barons that oversee Venice and Greece for the black nobility and are working with the Massa and Massimo families. Today, the Italian House of Savoy hold the titles of Prince of Venice, with Prince Emanuele Filiberto of Savoy as the Prince of Venice. Most members of the Venetian nobility serve the House of Savoy. Count Niccolo Gustiani is a top authority in Venice, and he is a Roman Knight of Malta and a Knight of the Savoy's Order of St. Lazarus. The Savoy family oversees Venice, and they work with high-level black nobility in Rome, like the House of Torlonia. The Warburg family are influential Jewish banking family that originated in Venice, known as the Del Banco family, and they are related branch of the Banchieri? Sorry, it's either Banchieri or Banchieri family of Tuscany. The Warburgs own M.M. Warburg and Company and Warburg Pincus, and were also the co-founders. They missed a couple words in here. Warburg Pincus, and were also the co-founders of the Swiss UBS Bank. James Warburg Jr. is a top member of this family today. The Warburg family are court factors for black nobility, and they finance wars. The Brandolini di Ada family are powerful Venetian nobility, currently headed up by Count Brandolini di Ada II, along with Count Tiberto Rui Brandolini di Ada, Count Guido Brandolini di Ada, and Countess Bianco Brandolini di Ada. The House of di Ada originated in Milan and merged lines with Borrimo and Brandolini families, and also ruled as counts of the Holy Roman Empire. The Brandolini family are a related branch of the Aldobrandini family of Florence and Rome. Olympia Aldobrandini is married to the French Baron David René Rothschild, and he is the chairman of N.M. Rothschild and Sons, and Rothschild Continuation Holdings, with his son Baron Alexander Guy Francesco de Rothschild as a top executive. Count Guido Brandolini worked for the Rothschild Asset Management Division and worked for Chrysler Group. Chrysler Group! Was I just talking about them? And said the CEOs from Italy? Countess Marie Brandolini di Ada was the daughter of French Baroness Beatrice de Rothschild, and Marie married into the Brandolini di Ada family of Venice with Count Brandino II as her son. The French Rothschild family are court factors for the Roman Curia and act as middlemen, money handlers for black nobility, like the Aldobrandini family. The black nobility funnel their wealth through the Rothschild banking firms, which are used for making payoffs, bribes, and various forms of criminal financing. Ada is like the word adder, which is a name for a viper, and snakes are considered calculating. Bankers are calculating. The title of the middle nobility is a count. Counts are like accountants for the higher level princes and manage their bankers. The Torlonia family's ancestry is part of the Conti di Signi family. The Conti and Contini family were Venetian nobility. The Torlonia family are the Vatican's treasurers, and they manage the count's accountants, which manage bankers. Count Leoni Contini Bonacassi and Gustiani Contini family are part owners of the Contini Camorra Mafia clan, founded by mafia boss Eduardo Contini, who is nicknamed Romano for his strong connections to Rome. Camorra operates out of Naples, and the Savoy family oversees Naples with Vittorio Emanuele IV, titled the Prince of Naples. That's a YouTube comment. That's one of maybe like 50 or 60 of those. Sorry, I was just staring at my computer, but my eyes are having a hard time focusing right now. I had to make sure I focused. I mean, what do you think of all that? That sounded really legit to me. After reading through that, man, geez, I almost feel like I shouldn't have read through that. But this person sounds like they know what the hell they're talking about. Is this information public? Like, is this in a book somewhere? Has this already been published? Is there a newspaper article? Is there a magazine? Is there anything that's put this information out that I just read? I really hope so. I really hope I'm not the first one to. But, well, Return of Zeus posted this. I'm just reading it, so that's interesting. Chrysler. What is the CEO's name of Chrysler? Let's check that out real quick. Chrysler CEO. His name is, so it's Fiat Chrysler Automobiles. Their headquarters is Auburn Hills, Michigan. Founder Walter Chrysler. CEO Sergio Marchionne. Oh, there's two of them. Sergio Marchionne and Pietro Guerrier. So Sergio is an Italian executive who is currently the chairman of CNH Industrial, the chairman and CEO of Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, the chairman and CEO of Ferrari, and also chairman of Maserati. Guy's balling out of control. You know he doesn't have a Chrysler parked in his garage. Well, he might have an SUV, but he probably teleports places. Huh. Zucon, parents Zucon and Marchionne. Okay. So let's see about this other gentleman. The Pietro Guerrier. It just says Italian. Executive. Born Turin, Italy. Doesn't say anything about him. Group Executive Council, Head of Parts and Service. No. Well, with all of that stuff I just read, if anybody out there is really good at taking in information, writing down some notes, connecting some dots, and responding to this, that'd be great. That'd be great. I need to read this again to get through that. There were so many damn names in there I was trying to pronounce correctly. I don't even know if I retained half of the information in here. But this person really sounds like they know what they're talking about. All right. That's 34 minutes. I think that might be long enough. Do I have anything else to talk about before I sign off? Don't forget about Daniel Holtzclaw, Holtzclaw. He is currently in prison for 263 years for a crime that I don't think he committed. for a crime that I do not believe he committed. I wasn't with him. I didn't see any video. I didn't see, well, I did see some of the evidence. I saw the independent forensic detectives, call them something else. Anyway, the forensics experts, 3 of them independently researched this guy's case details and everything, and all 3 of them are asking for a retrial. And I watched it myself too, and I'm like, are you serious? Did you see the sketch of the person that some of these people identified? Daniel Holtzclaw is like 6 foot something, yoked, just giant arms, big old dude, and these people said that it was like a 5'5" black guy? No, did they say it was black guy or white guy? I can't remember, but it was 5'5", stocky, overweight. There's a sketch of this person, and if you just look at this sketch and look at Daniel Holtzclaw, you're like, okay, can we listen to anything at all that this person said? If they're going to describe this guy like this, you know? I'd really like to see that. Really like to see him get out of there. And the other few thousand people that are serving jail sentences, prison sentences, that shouldn't be in there, that have been either gang stalked and manipulated into acting out, set up, railroaded, whatever word you want to use, drugs playing on this setup. Somebody pulling a gun on you, saying you did it, that kind of setup. Totally lost my train of thought right there. Got a little upset thinking about that. Daniel, I'm sorry you're going through this. Not that you're going to be watching this video anytime soon. And I'm nowhere close to in as much hot water as you were. You were going through 38 counts or something like that. I've got 3. And I'm looking at 5 to 15 years, not 300. Man, but the pressure is pretty tough to deal with. And you know what? It's not even the pressure. It's the feeling of betrayal and just unfairness. I hate to use that word. I hate to say things aren't fair. But this is a really lopsided thing. It's a scam. It's set up for profit, and it is definitely not in the best interest of our American citizens. I just realized that I'm wearing a tank top, and none of you have ever seen me with the tank top on. I call this my Arizona sunset tank top. It's got all the colors you see in the Arizona sunset, like we had last night. But yeah, I got a couple tattoos when I was younger. Well, I guess every tattoo you have was going to be when you were younger, even if you got it yesterday. That one's got a peacock and a snake. That was my wedding present from somebody that I thought was a friend of mine that actually tattooed my wife while I was out of town on military orders. So, but this is my wedding present, and we got the original drawing from this too. And it took me a while to figure out who was who, but I think I know which one my wife is now. And I'm kind of a show-off, so that peacock would be me. And then this one, that looks kind of scary or tough or something, doesn't it? Skull with a heart in front of it, but all that means is I've got more heart than brain sometimes. You know, that's why I do this. I put my neck out on the line. And I wasn't told that when I got this tattoo. I just told him, hey man, put anything on there you want. I'm going to trust your judgment. Put anything you want. So I'm sure there's something symbolic with this tattoo, because everything that he did was symbolic. But this guy's called a screamer. That's what Andrew called him. And he did a whole bunch of these. There's a few hundred of them probably out there on people. This kind of skull, just without the heart though. And that's American traditional style tattoo. This one I got from Frank Fence Post Robinson, actually in Norman, Oklahoma. No. I got this one in Oklahoma City. We drove into Oklahoma City to get this one from Frank. And he was a biker. He said he was a biker in a group called the Booze Fighters. But what I think he was a federal agent. Because that guy couldn't even fix his own motorcycle, and he looked like he tried to act like he was, maybe he is old school hardcore biker or something like that. But I don't know, man. It was almost like he was trying too hard. And then I had some issues with this that I had to really take care of it when I got done. Let's see. Half of you aren't even watching this anymore, so you guys can just show tattoos. All right, there's my other. Let's see, there's another one. Anybody remember MJB Coffee from San Francisco? That's my initials, Michael John Barden. So I got that coffee can, and it says Fresh Grind on the bottom of it right here on the coffee can. Since I skate, I had them change it to Smith Grind, which is like a skate trick, just a way you grind. And instead of under here, MJB, where it says coffee on the can, I have them put coping. Coping is the top around the pool, or the metal part that you go up and grind on. Let's see, what else do I have? I didn't realize this is going to be a tattoo show off. This one says Hath Many Stones. My ex-wife's, on her arm, it said the road less traveled. And they both had multiple meanings now that I look back. And then I've got my kids' names on the back of my legs. Last name and a Mickey's Hornet back here. That was like when I was 19. Goofy tattoos. Probably should be covered up. And that's it. I don't know why I started talking about my tattoos. I just realized I had a tank top on in this video. It's Phoenix. It was like 95 or 100 a day. I don't even know. It was hot. Been sweating all day, so this is how we dress in Phoenix. I think I'm actually done. Am I done? Am I done? Yep. Okay, good night.